What's up everybody, Slasher Movie Reviews, and I am a huge fan of Patrick Ness's Chaos Walking trilogy. This is actually my all-time favorite trilogy. I am freaking obsessed with these books, and Lionsgate has bought the rights to make the movie. And Charlie Kaufman of Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, being John Malkovich, an adaptation, will be writing the script. He is a completely left field pick, but he is the right field to play in, and I am so happy with this pick. If anyone can turn Chaos Walking into a movie, it's Charlie Kaufman. I am so thrilled about this movie, guys, that I'm going to be doing the ultimate Chaos Walking video. I'm going to be fan casting my picks for who I think should play in the Chaos Walking movie. Mind you guys, since there's no real development in the movie, I don't know what type of tone or theme that they're trying to go for with it. So my picks could be completely different from what Lionsgate has going on up in their heads, or it could be completely different from what you read as a book. Disclaimer, I am really bad at name pronunciation, so forgive me if I butcher any of these names. Alright, so let's get into this. Who should play our main man, Todd Hewitt? Part of me wants to have an unknown actor. I think an unknown actor would really work. I would only want an unknown actor if our Viola was also unknown. I would say my number one pick for Todd Hewitt is Joel Courtney. He is just everything I pictured when I read the book. Gatlin Griffin, I think, would be a really good pick for Chaos Walking as well. I just think he has the look, and he's not a bad actor as well, so this could be more of a breakout movie for him. Chancellor Riggs, he seems to be sort of the crowd favorite here from The Walking Dead. He does embody a lot of Todd Hewitt, and I think he could indeed pull off the character as well. Now, who's gonna play our lovely Viola Eden? My number one pick, Maisie Williams. She's from Game of Thrones. I love this chick on that show. She is so fantastic, and she bodies everything of Viola. There's always the possibilities that for the movie that they might up the age, and for Chaos Walking, I could totally see them doing that. Isabel Fernand, she would be so freaking awesome in this role. Ellie Fanning, she works great with Joel Courtney, and I love her, and she would be great in this role as well. This is the casting that counts. I don't care so much about all the other castings, but this is the one casting that has to be done perfect. And we're talking about Mayor Prentice. He is my favorite character in the entire Chaos Walking trilogy. The guy I read during the entire trilogy was Christoph Waltz. He is one of my all-time favorite actors, and he would kill it in this role. I want Christoph Waltz more than any role in Chaos Walking. However, I do have a couple of backups. Benedict Cumberbatch. I also think Daniel Day-Lewis would be really good. I think my biggest runner-up, though, for Mayor Prentice is someone who looks completely different than Christoph Waltz. That is Andrew Scott. I love Sherlock, and he is so fantastic as the evil Jim Moriarty, and he balances everything so perfectly, and he's so much like Mayor Prentice that I think he would just be so fantastic. Davy Prentice, he is a character with a lot of depth, and I love what Patrick Ness did with this character. So I definitely want someone pretty known to play him. I would say Dane DeHaan is what I pictured while reading this book. Also, I would really like Jack Gleason from Game of Thrones. He is so good on that show. Mistress Cole. I think the crowd favorites here for Mistress Cole are Sigourney Weaver and Mel Streep. And I think those two people would be good Mistress Coles. But personally, I have two picks that I would really like to see. My number one pick, and I want this so bad, I think she would kill it, and that is Viola Davis. And she is no stranger to these young adult books turned movies. She was in Beautiful Creatures and Ender's Game. So joining Chaos Walking, I don't see wouldn't be so hard for her, and I think she would be fantastic as Mistress Cole. I'd say my runner-up for Mistress Cole is Jessica Lange. Seriously, guys, if you haven't watched American Horror Story, she is phenomenal and one of the best parts of that show, and she would be so freaking good as Mistress Cole. Aaron, our over-the-top preacher from The Knife of Never Letting Go. John Hawkes from Winter's Bone. He would be so good in this. I could totally see him going around just nit-knacking on Todd, telling him how he needs to change his sinful ways. Manchie's an interesting pick. Now, in the books, Manchie's described as being a big dog. And, well, that could be a lot of dogs. But while reading Chaos Walking, I kind of pictured a Border Collie as Manchie. But I could also see a Border Terrier or a Labrador Retriever. But honestly, if it's a big dog, it could be Manchie. I even have a voice actor for Manchie. Manchie has to be someone who is lovable, but also can get a little annoying. So I have Charlie Day. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a little bit of a man crush on Charlie Day. So this could just be a personal thing. He has that personality and that pitched voice that just corresponds to Manchie so well for me that I just really would like to see that. Ben is definitely the father figure, sort of mentor for Todd. There are definitely a couple of actors who could definitely play Ben. I would have to say my number one pick is definitely Jude Law. He would be just so good as Ben. I also have Ewan McGregor and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Killian's not really in the books all that much, so you could technically have an unknown actor play this role. But let's just face it, Killian Murphy, I picture that man as Killian. Like, just the name alone just had me picturing him as Killian. Lee. So, Eddie Redmayne is exactly who I pictured as Lee. Someone who Viola could trust. Now, Wilf, I think, could be played by someone unknown. Let's face it, we've all pictured Morgan Freeman as Wilf. He's described as being the nicest person on the planet, but I think an unknown actor would work really well as this character. Hildy. Now, this character is very interesting because while reading it, I kept picturing Laura Linney, and I knew Hildy is nothing like Laura Linney, but I had to throw that out there because I kept picturing her. And I know in the book, when Todd meets Hildy, he mistakes her for a boy. So for Hildy, I have Melissa Mcbride from The Walking Dead, who plays Carol, who is a very fantastic actress. She's a really good actress. Simone needs to be someone who's older, but also is really pretty. So I have Jessica Chastain and Eva Green. I would love to see Eva Green in this role. I think she would be really good. Now for Bradley, I kind of pictured Idris Elba, but I would like instead to have Anthony Mackie play Bradley. I think he would be a really, really good pick. Mayor Con Ledger. Now, he was the mayor of Haven before Mayor Prentice came along. And I'm pretty sure when we all read the books, we all pictured Mr. Monopoly Guy as Mayor Con Ledger. My pick is completely different from Mr. Monopoly Guy, and that is, I'm gonna butcher it, Genovio Risby. He looks like someone who could possibly run a city, but also someone who you can't possibly trust, And now, I'm not going to cast spackles in the sky, you know, like 1017 and stuff like that, because I really have no idea. I mean, it's a lot of click, so I really have no idea who could play them. Directors. Now, who do I think should direct Chaos Walking? Now, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out this. Spike Jonze, I would be perfectly fine if he directed Chaos Walking. Him and Charlie have a great bond, and they work so well together, so that if Spike directed, I would be perfectly fine with it. I have two directors that I would think would do a really freaking awesome job directing the first movie. And the first guy is Alfonso Cuarón. He directed Children of Men, Gravity, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And I think with his sort of dark style and his long takes would just work so well for The Knife of Never Letting Go. My number one pick for director for Chaos Walking is Duke and Jones. I think Moon and Source Code are fantastic films, and I think both those films sort of embody a little bit of Chaos Walking, and I think he would just be the perfect guy to direct this film. So Duke and Jones will be, and always will be, my number one pick for director for Chaos Walking. So there you have it, you guys. What did you think of my fan casting? And are you excited for the Chaos Walking movie? So I hope you guys like my picks. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So until next time, you guys, I'm the Slasher Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been slashed.